to get himself at the front of the field. They now release the drivers out onto the circuit. So let's have a look at the starting order for DD2 Masters Final 1. So after 3 straight victories yesterday, France's Paul Louveau on the Red Speed chassis, the 9 564, leads the way and will start from pole position. Alessandro Glauser starts second alongside, and he is second in the championship coming into this round. And the gap between the pair after a welcome double victory in Adria for the Swiss driver brings him to within 11 points, the Frenchman. Third, it's Michael Becker, who is yet to score any points this season. This is actually his first appearance in the Euro Trophy for 2021. He starts third. Bruno Dos Santos will have an opportunity to claw points and get past the likes of Rudy Champion, Christophe Adams, and maybe even Roberto Brzezinski by the end of the weekend. He starts alongside. Christophe Capitan in 5th, Marco Winkler 6th, Konrad Bayer in 7th, and Tanya Yildiz in 8th. And Konrad Bayer, I had a quick chat with him yesterday. He said, yeah, it was a work in progress. He definitely did an Alex Wurz, as I said. He ran out of talent. If anyone might remember the famous comments from the Austrian when he was racing with Toyota Gazoo Racing in the World Endurance Championship. He said that one fateful year. So 14 minutes plus an additional lap in this race. And then we have Project T20 for their first set of finals this weekend. And with it comes a ticket to the Grand Finals, running on Project T20 itself in Bahrain in December this year. So, revs rise, and it's a full start. There they go around again. Once again, these drivers are going to have to get themselves in order. Well, I think they all knew it was going to be a matter, a formality, that they were going to have to restart the race. So Paul Louveau wearing his Team France overalls once again. Still remember meeting the guy for the first time in Genk and having to make a call out for doing the pictures for social media when he took pole position. That was a weekend I'll never forget, but also good to practice my linguistic skills in another language that I do speak. Right, into the tram lines we go. The revs, they start to rise. Lights are out. We are racing. As Louveau keeps the lead. He's had to battle from 3rd place earlier on in the heats this week. But Michael Becker has managed to get himself up into 2nd position ahead of Alessandro Glauser. Marco Winkler is in 4th. We'll make that 3rd. Hey, hang on a second. Maybe even make that 2nd. Let's just see. Has Winkler got the move done? Oh, Glauser closed the door and denied Marco Winkler a run at 2nd position. But Winkler started down in 6th. He got an absolutely brilliant start, did the German. Alessandro Glauser anticipated the move and judged it well. But Winkler He got a podium here last weekend in Rotax Max Challenge Germany. And that is something to build on here, because now he's got Glauser up ahead in the slipstream. Well, he's behind him in the slipstream, but then you've got Michael Becker, Christophe Capitan, Bruno Dos Santos. Tanu Yildiz has managed to get himself past Konrad Bayer in the meantime. Now Winkler appears to be dropping off a little bit. It's Michael Becker. Goes alongside. Side by side between the pair. Becker will have the inside run going into turn 2. But if Winkler was quick enough, which on that particular occasion he wasn't, he would have been back up the inside and retaken third place. But Christophe Capitan in the 502. Closing in on the 566, running on a Paralin chassis these days. Further back, Konrad Bayer trying to get past the 570 of Tanu Yildiz. Now Paul Louveau being hunted down by Alessandro Glauser. This is going to be rather close between the pair as we head into 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Plus an additional lap still to go. Paul Louveau has been able to win by some margin in some of the races here at Muelsen. However, it's one thing to do it on heats day, it's another thing entirely to do it on finals day. So Glauser had the run, had the measure of Louveau back in Adria. Here in Muelsen, could it be a similar story? Could the gap close? Because if Glauser wins both finals and Louveau takes second in both races, that is going to be a 1-point differential going into the final race weekend of the season at Wackersdorf. And Paul Louveau will want to make sure that he has an advantage. If he wins this race, it's an additional 5-point advantage he gains and will put him on 16 points ahead of Alessandro Glauser. And here's the battle between Tanu Yildiz, who definitely dropped the ball when he put slicks on in inclemental conditions. Konrad Bayer sporting a new crash helmet for this season as well. Part black, part bright green, goes up the inside of Yildiz through the final corner. So a nice little switch move there from Bayer to get past, as there is a chance for a lead to be changed. But Louveau denies Glauser. And here comes Michael Becker into the fray. And as they say, two's company, three is a crowd. Couldn't be much further from the truth if you tried right here and now. But Louveau's just got to do what he needs to do. He's got the racing line. He's got the right of way. He can put that kart where he wants to, as long as it's within the sporting regulations. So no weaving, no moving under the braking zone, so to speak. So Louveau looks over his right shoulder, sees Glauser, puts his head down. Glauser running the slipstream, looking up the inside to now try and take the lead. Louveau goes on the defensive and did that at the right place, at the right time, just as they went into the braking zone. He turned in, he knew he had enough space to do it. So having that spatial awareness is key, especially if you are at the top. If you are the one that is actually leading the race, you are the one that has the, well, you can't, well, there's no delegation in racing. There's always that. You can dictate how a race unfolds. And this is what Paul Louveau is doing rather nicely as we speak. But the top three last time around were covered by just over 0.3 of a second. Now we have a little look back between Christophe Capitan, Bruno Dos Santos and Marco Winkler. Winkler was gunning for P2 at one point, but it seems like his times have dropped off quite considerably here in Muelsen. Closing is now, it's all musical chairs at the front. Well, it's trying to be. Someone hasn't gotten onto the last chair first. At the moment, that person is currently Paul Louveau. He's got just half of the race to go. So try and just keep a defensive line ahead of Alessandro Glauser. And also the ever fast approaching Michael Becker in the 5:26. Christophe Capitan is the fastest driver out on the circuit, 50.909 for the French driver. Currently sitting in 4th place on the 5:02 Tony Kart entry. But the battle for the lead is very much at a stalemate at the moment. Louveau still leading. Glauser is now looking over his right shoulder as well. He knows how close Becker can be. And Glauser goes up the inside. Will Louveau get the switch back? Not on this particular occasion. And Louveau is not wanting to work with Glauser. He's wanting to fight him for the lead. And now that brings in Michael Becker. Louveau gets a little bit aggressive going through turn 4. And now that has cost him a little bit of time. That's put him into the firing line of Michael Becker. So if things were to finish as they are now, Paul Louveau's lead would drop from 11 to 6 points heading into the final race of this weekend. And what's more, that will put Glauser on pole position. However, with that being said, there could be another twist in the tail. What I mean by that is that could give Louveau the impetus he needs, the motivation to close on in and get that lead back. So, top 3 were covered by less than 0.4 of a second. Now, hang on. Has Glauser had a problem? Has Glauser got a problem? He's letting drivers past. Oh no, Glauser knows that race has just gotten away. He was leading and he's pulling up to the side. Alessandro Glauser, the frustration, the anger, the disappointment, so visceral and so visible. He kicks the barrier with his right foot. And now that gives Paul Louveau a bit of a lifeline, because now his biggest title rival is out of the picture. That means Alessandro Glauser will start 8th in the second final later on today. So Paul Louveau knows that it's irrespective of where he wins. He will extend his championship lead. He will extend it to 36 points after this race if he stays ahead of Michael Becker. 4 minutes and 6 seconds, but we were denied of a potential title-changing moment through a technical failure for Alessandro Glauser. And as always, Strike and Crew KCT helping us out here as Louveau gets to 9, a bit sideways coming out of the final corner. Christophe Capitan now embroiled in a really good battle here. This is for P3 with Bruno Dos Santos. And Konrad Bayer has managed to get away from Daniel Yildiz. Marco Winkler is now sitting in 5th place. But it was just that frustration, the adrenaline coursing through Alessandro Glauser's veins that just showcased how much of an emotional moment that was. And that just shows how passionate these drivers are, irrespective of the class they run in. Everyone has that will to win, that wish to win. And when it gets ripped out of you like that, like the carpet pulled away from underneath your feet, that shows how quickly your emotions can change and how destructive it can be. But Paul Louveau now knows he's got to hang on for about the next 4 minutes. Just under 4 minutes ahead of Michael Becker. We're now on to lap number 13 of this race, and the Frenchman looks to continue that winning streak. And it's very much reminiscent of what happened with Genk. However, had Alessandro Glauser not retired on lap number 11, it would have been a very, very different story. I can assure you of that. But Michael Becker fancies an opportunity. Even if Becker wins this race, Louveau will still have a 31-point advantage going into the second final. And effectively, if he wins the second final later on, effectively he's done enough to put the title out of Alessandro Glauser's reach, and that could be a deciding moment on the penultimate round of the championship. We've seen titles provisionally decided before the end of the season, but it's always when we get to the first final, at the last round of the championship, you know who's going to secure that title, who's going to be on the top step, and who's going to be going to Bahrain. So on to lap number 16. 18 laps will be completed at the end of this race, as we've got just over a minute to go. And Louveau still keeping ahead of Michael Becker. So Louveau will have this, plus another additional lap to keep Michael Becker at bay. Glauser's retirement, the biggest talking point in the dynamic of the DD2 Masters Championship, because it looks like we will have 4 different champions for 4 different seasons. Paul Louveau is 1 lap away from taking a further step forward. It will be his 3rd victory of the 2020 season. Michael Becker in close proximity. Last lap board is out. Becker looking to the outside of Louveau, going into turn 2 for the final time. But Louveau keeping himself ahead of everybody else, not letting Michael Becker have an opportunity to get up the inside. Louveau is maximising his points advantage going into the second final of the day. Their second final will be at 3:05 p.m. local time here in Germany, as Louveau looks over his right shoulder, more than likely for what is going to be the final time of this race. As he comes out of the final corner, the 100% winning streak here in Muelsen continues, as France's Paul Louveau wins DD2 Masters Final 1 by just over a 1/10 of a second ahead of Michael Becker. Christophe Capitain managing to get past, and a bit of solidarity and sportsmanship, and a thumbs up there from Michael Becker, saying to Paul Louveau, well done, mate, well defended. Christophe Capitan rounds out the top 3. Bruno Dos Santos in 4th. Marco Winkler in 5th. Konrad Bayer in 6th, with Daniel Yildiz about to cross the line. But Alessandro Glauser, his title charge has been dealt a significant blow. Can the Swiss driver claw it back in final 2? We'll have to find out later. But at the moment, Paul Louveau, another 25 points in the bag and another step away from championship glory.